Hey guys, today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I created these 2 feet alphabet marquee letters for my daughter's quince birthday with Dollar Tree products. So for this DIY, you'll need some foam board and some poster board, which you can get at Dollar Tree. You're also going to need a letter pattern of the size if you're choosing. I'm doing 2 feet, and so I got one offline. I just looked for free printables, and so you can search it and find them online, and that's what I did and printed them out on my printer. You're also going to need the lights of your choice. I decided to do the pop lights from Dollar Tree because I wanted mine to be battery operated with no cords. A lot of people have done this DIY and done string lights and use the string lights and poked holes and put them in there like that, but I didn't want my letters to have any cords and have to deal with it when we're doing the party and have just cords hanging around. So I wanted mine to be battery operated, so I did mine with the pop lights. And you can also get batteries from Dollar Tree as well, and these batteries are perfect for this one because you're just using it for one party or for one event and you don't have to worry about long lasting, so the Dollar Tree batteries are just fine. I first started by laying out my pattern so I can see how it is, and I noticed that once I put my foam board on top, it was the same height. It was 2 feet high, but the width was too big for this printable, was too big for the foam board that you get at Dollar Tree. So I decided that I was just going to overlap it and try to make it work. I didn't freak out. I didn't want to try to find another printable online because a lot of them you have to pay for it, and so I was like, I'm gonna make this work. So what I decided to do was I decided to just start overlapping the pieces so that I can make it a little bit thinner, and then I just kept putting my foam board back so I can see the size that I needed. This took some work, and this is what takes the longest time at first. If you do get like a printable out that the width is not the size of your tag board, this will take a little time, but once you do it, it's fine, and then you'll get the ball rolling. But that's what I did. Another way that you can do this is if you have a projector, you can actually project any letters onto your wall and then just tape a poster board to your wall and make make a design out of the poster board first, like kind of like a little stencil, and then do it that way. I wanted to do it that way. That's how I used to do it when I was in a teacher's aide at the school, but I don't have a projector, and when I was looking at some, I didn't really have time to decide which one I wanted because the party was coming up so fast. And so I do eventually later on want to get a projector so that I can do more DIYs like this with this and use it for like family movie nights. So that is probably going to be the easiest way in the future. But if you don't have a projector, just look for some free printables and see if you can find one to make the stencil that you need. So I was using my paper cutter to cut off the edges of the printable so that way I'm able to stack them easier and tape them together so that I can make it work. All that excess paper kind of prevents you from able to overlapping and seeing how things will work. So if you cut off the excess of the paper of your printable and just have the actual ink part, it makes it easier for you to overlap this and kind of work with this to make it the size you need. So originally I taped the pieces together and I taped it down to the foam board, and my idea was to just use a blade and kind of carve it out through the paper onto the tag board. But the paper kept moving. Even though I kept taping it down, it kept moving out of place. Every time I was trying to kind of use the blade to go around it, it was just moving everywhere. So I just decided that I would just tape the patterns together as best as I could, and then just cut out the pieces of the B and the letter and just cut it out and use that as a pattern. And then since this was kind of like a flimsy pattern because it was pieces kind of taped together, I decided that I would just have this taped together and then put it on top of a poster board and then tape it down to the poster board and then trace out my letter onto the poster board, so that from now on for this DIY and for future DIYs I have a B pattern that's 2 feet high for future use. And so the original pattern was the pieces of paper, and like I said, it'll be flimsy over time and I can't really save it. So then I just took that, taped it to the poster board, and then made me an actual stencil of a bee that I can use for, like I said, for this DIY and then future DIYs from now on, because the poster board is a little bit more heavy material than, you know, printer paper. Once I was done tracing my letter onto the foam board, I just took this blade that I got from Dollar Tree a while back. It's lasted me a long time. It actually came in like a pack of 5, but I don't think they have them anymore, but you can definitely get them as single packs now. But I've had them for a long time, but you can use any blade actually to cut along the lines. And then what you'll notice is that sometimes there might be some jagged edges. Don't worry about that, because you can get your scissors afterwards and then just clean it up. That's what I did. I just cut out the pieces with the blade, and then I just took my scissors later on and trimmed all of the rough edges out. Once I was done cutting out the letters, I took another foam board and I measured 4-inch strips and cut them out, because these are the pieces that are going to be the pieces that go around your letters to have the letter stand up and also have that shadow box look. Some people do 3 inches. I did 4 inches because the girl that I was following, she said that 4 inches was like the standard size to, you know, the thickness to do it. And I actually liked it that way because it helped the letter stand in place. So I like doing 4 inches, but you can do 3 if you want it to be a little bit more smaller, but I think 4 inches is a good size. So I was able to use 2 foam boards for each letter, because once I cut all these strips out, I'm actually cutting enough strips from this one foam board for this letter, and then also some of them actually go to another letter as well. So you actually use maybe a 1 foam board and a half for each letter, or sometimes 2, depending on which letter you're making. After you're done cutting all your strips, now it's time to attach it to the letter. So I just measured it to the size that I needed and cut the pieces as I went. And all I did to attach those pieces was I used my hot glue gun to attach them, and I put the glue on top of the letter and had the pieces sit on top of the letter itself. Now when it comes to the round parts, you can see that I'm making slits right there. So I measured it to see where the curve was going to start, and where the curve started, that's where I started putting slits into the foam board, because you want to be able to curl it and to make it go around the curves of the letters. And this can be tricky. The tip that I can give you guys is that when you're gluing it down, as you can see, I glued down the solid part first, and then when it comes to the angle part, I go in pieces, because you do have to hold it for a long time in place because it is curving. So you want to make sure that you give it enough time to hold it in place before, you know, for the glue to dry before you try to move it, because you don't want it to uncurl. So again, you see me just making slits. I started where I take the pieces and I lay it next to it, and where I see the curves start, that's where I start making slits in the tag board, and that's when I know it's going to start rounding. And then like I said, I glue the straight piece first, and then when it comes to the curve part, then I curl it around, make sure that it's going to fit to the size. I cut any pieces that need to be off, and then I just apply the glue and apply the curl part on there. Now you will see the slits in this when you make it, like you will see it as you're DIYing it, but once you put the lights on it and you put it up and it's decorating, no one can really see it. So If that bothers you, don't worry about it because nobody sees the inside of it. So don't worry about the slits not looking nice, because these are big letters that are going to be kind of standing out from everybody. So no one's really going to look at, you know, that these have like slits in them. You cannot tell at all, I'm telling you. Because I just want to tell you guys that, because when I first started doing that, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like the slits, but you won't even notice them. Now, like I said, with the lights, a lot of people have used string lights and they poke holes and they've done string lights and stuff like that, but you would have to plug it in if you do string lights. I wanted mine to be battery operated and have no cords attached to it. So I'm using these pop lights from Dollar Tree, which I love. They are so bright. And so right now you see that I'm trying to like fill out where I'm going to put everything before I actually take the sticky part off and put it down. Always lay it out before so you guys can know how it's going to look, and then decide where you're going to put it down and then glue it down. Now, when I first did this, as you can see, like I had a lot of lights on it, and I thought this would be a good, you know, size. But once I turned the lights on, guys, this thing was so bright. It lit up like my living room, my kitchen, the hallway. My husband came out. He said it was so bright. So I was like, you know what? I really don't need all these lights because these pop lights are really bright, and it will save me much money if I decide to like put less pop lights. It will be less money that I'm saving for each letter. So I decided to make another B, because once I rip off the lights of these, the letter was messed up. So I made another B, and I decided to put 5 lights instead, and it came out better with the 5 lights, and I just like it so much better. It's still bright as can be, and it looks perfect. I love it. So that's what I decided to do, is to just go with 5 lights, because like I said, these pop lights are super bright. So here's all the letters that I made to spell out my daughter's name, Brianna, and I wanted to share with you guys how it looked without the lights so that you guys can get an idea of how it could look. Some people like to put balloons in these or flowers in these, so I wanted you guys to see how it looks plain so that you guys can get an idea of it. And then this is how it looks with the pop lights before they're on. As you can see, the amount that I put, no letter has no more than 5, which means that for each letter, I only spent $8.75 to make it. That's before batteries. And then when you add the batteries, and I got the Dollar Tree batteries, they were only $2.50 more. So each letter was only $11.25. And the letter I was actually the cheapest because it only had 3 lights, but it's really a good deal for what I made. And then I wanted to share with you guys how it looked at the venue. When we went to the venue, I wanted the name to be on the stage and behind the bench that she was going to sit during her ceremony. And here's some videos and clips of the ceremony when we presented her with her crown, and also when we presented her with her last doll, so you guys can see how it looks lit up in the background with the little slideshow that we have. And then also I wanted to share with you guys how it looked when we did the waltz, when she did the waltz, and how it looked with the letters that she was dancing behind them. So that looked really pretty. And lastly, I just wanted to share with you guys some pictures that we took with her in front of the letters that came out so beautiful. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how it looked and my vision of it, so you guys can get ideas for your party. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have made this before and what you guys would put inside them besides lights, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Hey guys, don't forget to click on the picture in the middle of the screen so you can subscribe to my channel and get notifications on all the new videos that I put out, and check out these other 2 videos that I have posted on my channel on either side of my picture. Have a great day.